Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past. Both will be recognized by actual historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History. What happened today in history?
Historical calendar, and on his website, onthisday.com.
Yep. For links to those sources and the music done by Carrera and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am Alexander and I am joined by...
Sir, Mr. Senor.
Oh, that's a good name. Sir, Mr. Senor. I don't have enough hands to give you salutes. I only have two. Today is Saturn's Day, also known as Saturday, the 1st of October, 2022. Welcome to Spooktober. Spooktember is over, Spooktober is just beginning.
Yes. I'll start it.
Go for it.
In 331 BC, Alexander the Great defeats Darius III of Persia in the Battle of Gaugamela.
Ah, I remember that.
Yep.
Dang, look at the size of his eye, though. Jeez, that's a big
Yeah,
eye.
I can see everything.
Yeah. No wonder he was a great conqueror.
Past and present.
Yep.
But he did not see Cleopatra.
No. Actually, wasn't Cleopatra, like, way later?
Yep.
Ah.
Also, let's see, what else can I use? Oh, 9/11. During the siege in Constantinople, the Theotokos, Mary, the mother of Jesus, appeared at the church in Blackenar, holding her veil over, praying faithfully among them St. Andrews of Constantinople.
Dang. So Mary appeared. That's interesting.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And historic event, 1569, Duke of Norfolk arrested by Queen Elizabeth I for conspiring to marry Queen Mary of Scots.
Dang.
God, what a bitch.
Poor Mary. Dude. Let's see here. Moving on up into 1653, Russian Parliament accepted annexation of Ukraine. Well, that's kind of interesting right there. So Russia's been constantly trying to get Ukraine. And then we have some sports history in 1661. Yachting begins in England as King Charles II defeated his brother James, Duke of York, in a yacht race from Greenwich to Gravesend. Well, that's interesting. King's on a yacht. I can't imagine, like, you know, with that wig on a yacht, you know, like, that's crazy. Anyway, let's see here. We have a historic event in 1746. Scotland's Bonnie Prince Charlie fled to France. This poor guy.
Yeah.
Then in 1768, British troops under General Thomas Gage landed in Boston. It's interesting.
Yep.
1791 looks interesting, and 95.
Yeah. It's one. I'll do both. 1791 first session of the new French Legislative Assembly.
Nice.
1795, Belgium is conquered by France. Also in 1795, France annexed southern Netherlands.
Dang, France. Conquering everybody.
1800, Spain cedes Louisiana to France in a secret treaty.
Huh. So...
Yeah,
oh, okay, well that makes... Yeah, because we bought the Louisiana territory from the French.
Yep.
Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, because Spain had Florida and, like, you know, Central and South America, you know, a lot of it. And that would make sense that they had Louisiana territory, so that's interesting.
In 1814, the Battle of Rancura begins. Spanish army defeats rebel Chilean army in the Chilean
Vieja.
Vieja.
Yeah. Also in 1814, opening of the Congress of Vienna redrew Europe's political map after the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte. Ooh.
Ooh.
Dang. That's really interesting right there. 1827, the Russian army under Ivan Paskevich stormed Yerevan, ending a millennium of Muslim domination in Armenia. Dang, 1,000 years. Done. That's crazy. And then in 1829, South African College was founded in Cape Town, South Africa, later to separate into the University of Cape Town and the South African College Schools. Yeah. And then let's see here. 1837, the U.S. imposed the Treaty of Winnebago Indians in Wisconsin. Imposed Treaty of Winnebago Indians in Wisconsin. Let me look that up real quick. What is?
Wait a minute. They were attacking Indians in RVs?
Let's see here.
Winnebago.
Yeah, I know. The U.S. Department of War negotiated a treaty at Rock Island, Illinois, with the Winnebago tribe in Wisconsin. Winnebago is actually the name of a Native American tribe. I did not know that.
Now you do.
Yeah, now everybody who goes out RVing, they're inside a Native American. That's a little weird. Stipulating that a physician will be provided as partial payment for millions of seated acres. Well, that's interesting.
Well, the Brits call it caravans.
Well, they're wrong about a lot of things. So, yeah. I mean, you know, the Brits, they invented the word soccer, and then they started calling it football, and then now they make fun of us for using their own invention. Didn't they invent imperial units too? Like,
yes.
Those Europeans always flip-flopping. But then in 1844, we have a German explorer, Ludwig Leichhardt, departed Jimbor, the farthest outpost of settlement on the Queensland Darling Downs, to begin his exploration of Australia's Northern Territory from Moreton Bay to Port Easington. That's interesting. So exploring the Great Outback. Ooh, but you got an invention here.
Historical invention. 1847, German inventor and industrialist Werner von Siemens found Siemens AG in Hauseck. Huh.
This guy, he invented the loudspeaker, electromote, and the third rail. Which the third rail is that rail in the middle of, like, you know, subway cars and whatnot that provides power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't touch the third rail.
Don't whiz on the electric fence. So yeah.
Oh my god, my favorite episode. Oh, you read on the electric fence, didn't you?
Yep.
I just love how the devil was so chill about it.
Yep. 1847 looks interesting, but 1851 looks even more so.
1847, Maria Mitchell discovers a non-naked eye comet.
So that tells me that they used a telescope, you know, and they discovered that comet.
Yeah. 1851, first Hawaiian stamp issued. Ooh, that's cool.
Cool. Now they can send mail.
1852, Alfred Russel Wallace returned to the UK after 4 years of travel collecting and researching in South America.
Nice. That's cool. Let's see here. 1854, the watch company, founded in 1850 in Roxbury by Aaron Lufkin Dennison, relocated to Waltham, Massachusetts, to become the Waltham Watch Company, a pioneer in the American system of watch manufacturing. Huh. And then in 1863, this is interesting, 5 Russian warships were welcomed in New York City. What? Why are Russian warships being in New York City? That's weird. Then 1 year later, though, cyclone struck Calcutta in 1864, resulting in the deaths of 70,000 people. God. That's awful.
Oh.
I'm going to take this other 1864 here, and then we'll go to your turn. John Summerfield Staples was paid $500 as a substitute for U.S. President Abraham Lincoln.
That must have been after Lincoln's eye-opening experience.
Yeah. When was he assassinated? When was Lincoln? April 15th in 1865, sorry. So yeah, this is after it. Or actually, no, before it. This is 1864, so this is before he got shot.
Okay.
I'm wondering, though, like, you know, what is this? What does this mean? Got paid
probably that's a double.
Huh.
Probably that's a double.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense now. All right. Well, anyway, you have a. I don't know why this is the highlighted of all things, but our source is
You know,
very liberal and leftist.
1866 Dutch Eindhoven follow railway opens.
All
I
right.
don't know why is that not highlighted, but this is 1867. Karl Marx publishes Das Kapital in Berlin, a description of the capitalist system and its instability and tendency to self-destruct.
Wow, how ironic. You know, a communist
Yes,
saying capitalism is going to self-destruct. Well, both of them are awful, but at least capitalism is a lesser of two evils. So.
1868. Little Women by Louise May Alcott is published in America by Roberts Brothers of Boston.
Boston.
Yeah, Boston.
Ooh, 1869. Look at that.
Which one? 1869? Which one?
The only one, 1869.
Hold on. Hold on, wait. 1868. St. Pancras Railway Station opens in London, largest single span roof in the world. 689 feet, 140 meters long, 100 foot high, 30 meters high. High point of Victorian Gothic agriculture.
Let me look
Architecture.
1868.
Architecture. Man, what the fuck?
1868.
I fucking said agriculture.
Oh, look at that. So yeah, big old dome thing. Reminds me
Now,
of Fremont Street in Vegas.
1869. The first postcards are issued in Vienna, Austria.
Nice. I wonder if those are the first
No,
postcards ever or the first postcards there, because that would be weird.
first postcards in that area, I'm guessing.
First ever postcards were February 27th, 1861. The U.S. Congress passed an act that allowed privately printed postcards. Okay, so that's something else.
That's in the U.S., not Austria.
The earliest known picture postcard was a hand-painted design on card created by the writer Theodore Hook. Hook posted the card, which bared a penny black stamp, to himself in 1840 from Fulham, which was part of London. And this was in 1869, so this was for, you're right, for that itself. That's weird though, like...
Yep.
Oh, by 1874, look at that.
1874, Rotterdam opens drinking water pipes.
Good, because people need water to drink, to survive, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it is like the number one thing for life, so... But then in 1879, the Cincinnati Enquirer published a first report on baseball's reserve clause, rights to players retained by team upon the contract's expiration, replaced by free agency. Too bad Scott's not here to tell us what that means. But then 1 year later, in 1880, John Philip Sosa became new director of U.S. Marine Corps Band. Oh, all right. He looks like a band director. But then in 1885, special delivery mail service began in the U.S., so that's cool. Ooh, 1866, the U.S. Mint in Carson City, Nevada closed. And I think that was the only mint on the West Coast, in the West, because I think there's two or three mints, and they're all in the East, and there was one in the West that was only around for a little while. And there's like the coins that were made there are highly collectible because of the mint stamp. There's so few of them, anymore. Why don't you tell us what happened in 1888?
Sure. 1888, National Geographic magazine publishes for the first time.
Nice. That's a good magazine. At least it was,
Also, yeah, it was. Also, 1890, Germany's anti-socialist law lapse.
Oh, that's not good.
Yes.
We know where that's going.
Then I told it.
Oh, wow. The other two 1890s are great, dude.
Also in 1890, U.S. Congress creates Weather Bureau.
Ah.
And also in 1890, U.S. Congress establishes Yosemite National Park, which is in California.
Yep, that's where that giant waterfall is, and I still got to go there. But apparently, you got to book that 3 years in advance. Like,
Uh,
it's crazy. But then, 365 days later, in 1891, Stanford University in California opened its doors after being founded by Leland Stanford and his wife Jane with a $40 million donation in 1891 dollars in memory of their son. Among its first graduation classes, future U.S. President Herbert Hoover was there. So, wow. Hoover went to Stanford. That's interesting. Then in 1892, the University of Chicago opens. So, Illinois trying to catch up on that sweet, university stuff. Then in 1894, the first meeting of the Owl Club of Cape Town. What is the Owl Club of Cape Town? What is the Owl Club of Cape Town?
Sounds like a nocturnal.
It is a social meeting place for all those with an interest in the arts and scientists. The monthly meetings included an evening of fellowship, fine dining, stimulating conversation, talks by acclaimed speakers, and musical entertainment. Huh. That sounds like fun. I wonder if it's still around. Let's see here. I'm adding the link to this wiki in the underbar. But let's see here. The Owl Club. How do you join the Owl Club? The secret to how to get into the Owl Club: if they say thank you or thanks when you hand them the imaginary pen, they can join. If they don't say it, they cannot join the Owl Club. Okay, so that's interesting. I gotta learn to join this Owl Club.
Have manners.
Yes, or here, pen. So anyway, what happened in 1903?
Hold on. Ooh. Hold up. 1898. Henry Huntington buys L.A. Railway.
Oh, Huntington. Oh, must be the guy whose namesake is used for Huntington Beach.
Yep. Also, shit. Also in 1898, Jews were expelled from Kiev, Ukraine. Also, 1898, Tsar Nikolai II expels Jews from major Russian cities. God damn it!
Well, something's going on, because people don't conspire to get rid of people like this if there's no reason, Like, I understand.
Fucking Nikolai.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as Bill Burr said, not every ass kicking just falls out of the sky. So there's always some instigation. So it's they've been expelled by what, almost 200 countries over the course of all this time.
Yeah.
I really doubt all of them are just.
What's up, Carrera?
Welcome, Carrera. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
How are you today?
Hungover.
That sucks. I have a little bit of hangover myself too. I'm gonna try to get off the sauce tonight. Finally, actually, Grim told me about nighttime tea and everything, so I'm gonna go to the market later today and check that out. But anyway, Sohan, you want to take this baseball record in 1903?
Sure. 1903, first baseball World Series game ever played. Pittsburgh Pirates beat Boston Americans 7-3 at Huntington Avenue. Jimmy Serbring hits first home run. Deacon Philippe is winning pitcher, and C.Y. Young is the loser.
Yeah, Cy Young. Ooh, Cy Young.
Cy Young.
Yeah. I every time I see that picture, his haircut is a little too short. Like it looks like somebody took the haircut off of an altar boy and put it onto his head. Like it doesn't fit. Like am I wrong? It looks like that.
I'm actually trying to get on the actual live feed so I can see what we're looking at.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm going to take us up into 1907. A downturn in the stock market led to a run on the dollar. U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt later called on financier J.P. Morgan to help manage the financial crisis. Oh, so there was sounds like kind of a run on the bank there. People trying to get their money. So.
A deficit.
Yep. And 1 year later, 1908, the first Dutch electric railway in use, Rotterdam to The Hague. So that's cool. And also in 1908, future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Jack Chesborough recorded final victory for the New York Highlanders before waived and claimed by Red Sox. Defeated Walter Johnson and Washington Senators 2-1. And I'm going to take this other 1908 here, just to close out that year. Henry Ford introduced the Model T car with a cost of $825. What is $825 in 1908? So let me see here. $825, 1908 would be $26,000 or $26,550.81. So that is not affordable. Well, I guess that's the average cost of a car nowadays, right? Like, you know.
Yeah, for a small compact.
Yeah, it seems about on par. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, Carrera, have you caught up with us?
I'm here. Okay. I'm reading.
All right. Why don't you take 1910 here? This looks interesting.
Yeah, I'll do that. In 1910, Berkshire Cattle Fair held in Pittsburgh, Mass. The first state fair.
Yeah, Massachusetts. Pittsburgh, Mass. I thought Pittsfield, sorry. We both read it as Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Sorry, guys.
No. I was just like, wait, when did Massachusetts get to Pittsburgh? Isn't that in Pennsylvania? It's just like, wait, no, it's not Pittsburgh, it's Pittsfield. But that's cool. That's the first state fair. So that's really cool. But then another thing happened in 1910.
Let's see if I can screw this one up. 1910 explosion at LA Times kills 21.
Dang.
Wow.
So I wonder, LA Times explosion 1910. I'm wondering if it was a bomb or what happened. It was a bomb.
It was a bombing.
The Los Angeles Times bombing was a purposeful dynamiting of the Los Angeles Times building in Los Angeles, California, United States on October 1st, 1910 by a union member belonging to the International Association of Bridge and Structural Iron Workers. Dang. I'm going to have this in my car. So people are going out there.
I mean, that was 1910, but
yeah.
I mean, we're talking 100 and what years ago?
112.
But that's still crazy. Like, wow. I mean, people have been self-destructing for so many years, and I'm wondering what it is.
We've been killing each other since before we started writing down about it. Like, it's part of human nature to be violent and aggressive and, murderous. Speaking of violent, aggressive, murderous, why don't you take this 1914, the Canadian one here, the first 14.
In 1914, the 1st Division of Canadian troops, 33,000 sailed to for Britain. Most Canadians are volunteers, anxious to prove their loyalty to the Commonwealth.
So that sounds like when they were sending them over for the First World War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then in 1918, speaking of the First World War, combined Arab and British force under the Lawrence of Arabia, T.E. Lawrence, captured Damascus from the Turks. Huh, that's good. And then let's see here. 1920, Dutch law provides for an 8-hour working day. Good. And we have a PGA Championship in 1921. The men's golf and Ironwood Country Club. Walter Hagen defeated former champion Jim Barnes of England 3-2, Hagen's third major title. Let's see here.
I'll take any sports if I have to, but I'm not taking golf.
Yeah, that's understandable. Golf confuses me. Like, it is the smallest ball in all of sports, and it's the largest land area in all of sports. You know?
Yeah, it's like, and I don't know all the like eagle, birdie, whatever shit.
Yeah, like I think like I don't know the exact order, but eagle and birdie are like strokes over par, and then you get up to like +3, +4, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Ed, you want to take this baseball record in 1922?
Sure. 1922, St. Louis Cardinals beat second baseman Roger Hornsby, hits 3 for 5 in 7-1 regular season ending win versus Chicago Cubs, improves batting average to 401, only MLB player to bat 400 and hit 40 home runs in the same season.
Hey, no, not to be rude, but Xander, your mic was just hot. That whole, I didn't hear anything he said.
I know. I'm noticing it's picking it up, and I have my speakers on as low as possible. I can barely hear you guys, but my mic is still picking it up. So I think I'm gonna switch to my headphones here, actually, for the first time.
Okay.
So you gotta make sure there's no spiders in here. So, yeah. No. Anyway. So, and if you don't mind repeating that. And then
Sure. 1922, St. Louis Cardinals second baseman Roger Hornsby hits 3 for 5 in 7-1 regular season ending win versus Chicago Cubs, improving batting average to 401, only Major League Baseball player to bat 400 and hit 40 home runs in the same season.
Ah.
Wow.
Actually,
that's actually badass.
I'm gonna do the show with the headphones tomorrow because I gotta do all the settings and everything. So I'm not gonna do that live on the show. So I'm just gonna keep my speakers down as low as possible. Anyway,
Also, 1924, Finnish distance runner Paavo Nurmi runs world record 4 mile 19 minutes 15.4 seconds and 5 mile 24.06.2 at Philpor, Russia.
dang. Oh, pardon me. Why don't you take 1926? I'm gonna go off camera and blow the hell out of my nose.
Sure. 1926, an oil field accident cost aviator Wiley Post his left eye. He used the settlement money to buy his first aircraft.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Oh, how much money did he get?
Enough to buy a plane.
Yeah, no shit.
Also, 1927, Pittsburgh Pirates, with a team including 5 future Baseball Hall of Famers, clinched Northern League pennant with 9-6 win versus Cincinnati Reds. Pirates' last National League pennant until 1960.
Nice. Mr. Carrera, do you want to tell us what happened in the last 1928 here with the Russian?
Oh, launches its first 5-year plan.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And if nobody knows what that is, you really should Google that for them.
I'm already on it. In the Soviet Union, the first 5-year plan from 1928 to 32, implemented by Joseph Stalin, concentrated on developing a heavy industry and cultivating agriculture at the cost of drastic fall in consumer goods. The second 5-year plan from 33 to 37 continued the objectives of the first. So that's what led to all the starvation and all the land annexation, redistribution of wealth. Looks good on paper, but in practice it is god-awful. You know?
Basically, that's when you had shoe lines.
Yep.
And food lines.
Yep, to go get a slice of bread, you had to wait in line 3 miles long.
Yeah.
Yep.
And most of the time, they only had 2 left shoes and weird shit.
2 left shoes, that's weird.
Yeah, it would be like two rights or two lefts. They never had the concept down to put
A right and a left
left
shoe.
and right. Yeah. It was just a crazy time for them, and I feel bad for those people.
Yeah. Well, we're vastly approaching a scenario like that here soon, out here in the States. So, with everything going on, just a matter of time.
Yep.
But hey, 1931 Spanish. That looks interesting right there.
Let me see here. Oh, thank you. 1931 Spanish Cortez accept general female suffrage.
Which is giving them the right to vote.
Wow.
Yep.
Thank you.
Also in 1931, the second and current Waldorf Astoria Hotel was opened in New York. So Waldorf Astoria. I don't know why my allergies are kicking in right now. It's getting annoying.
It's just fucking fall, dude. It happens.
Yeah. 1932, though, Babe Ruth's legendary call, sledged by Cubs dugout, points to the center field before homing it to the Wrigley Field bleachers in the fifth inning. Game 3 of the World Series, New York Yankees won 7-5. That's when he did that pointing out thing, you know?
Yeah, he just pointed and fucking hit it, and it went exactly that way.
Yep. And then 1933, once again, Babe Ruth made his final pitching appearance in Major League Baseball, pitching all 9 innings in a season-ending 6-5 win versus Boston Red Sox at Yankee Stadium. Hit his 34th home run of the season in 5th inning as well. So look at that. God, this guy
That's a great factoid, but the funny thing is when you hit the Boston part, your voice literally hit Bostonese.
I said Boston, you know.
Yeah, it was so great. Sorry, man, to interrupt.
Oh, no, it's all right. I try to do that. Every time I say Boston, you know, I have to say it like that, or it goes Chicago, you know. Or New York, it's like, hey, I'm Bostoning here. You know, I don't know how to turn Boston into a noun or into a verb, but you know.
Yeah, well, either way, you nailed it. It was funny.
Yeah. But also in 1933, New York Giants made no first downs, but still beat the Green Bay Packers 10-7 in a Week 3 NFL matchup at Borchardt Field, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yep.
Are you trying to kill me?
Not yet. Maybe in the future. We'll see.
Okay.
Anyway, Sohead, 1934.
Yeah. 1934, Adolf Hitler expands German army and navy, violating the Treaty of Versailles.
Versailles. Yep. Rearming the Rhineland. So that's dangerous.
Yep.
All the way in 1934. Yeah, that sounds about right.
So 1936, Generalissimo Francisco Franco establishes the state of Spain.
Yep. Still during the Spanish Civil War. I think it ended in 38. I'm not sure. So
1938, Germany annexes Sudetenland, 1/3 of Czechoslovakia, following the Munich Agreement.
Yep, I think we spoke about the Munich Agreement yesterday, in which Hitler, Mussolini, why can't I remember it? The UK guy, Neville Chamberlain, and like a fourth guy, either Stalin or Francisco Franco. I don't know the fourth guy, but I think that might be the Munich Agreement, because that was the one we spoke about yesterday, I believe. 1939.
1939, Winston Churchill calls Russia a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma.
Is he talking about Russia or is he talking about Patrick's brain?
You're talking about Russia.
Yeah. Well, remember, like Patrick, like his quote was like, "My mind is an enigma, something, something, something," and then it's just him like eating ice cream or something. I don't know.
Yep. No, it was bottled. It was spilled milk.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. But no, like the one before the one you read, also 1939. That looked interesting.
Okay. After 1939, after a 1 month siege of Warsaw, hostile forces entered the city.
Oh man. Yep, Poland. So
Lost.
it doesn't say which forces, but it was either Russian or German. I think it was Russian. So.
It's 1939. It's German.
Well, no, both Russia and the Soviet Union invaded Poland from two different areas. Like, they agreed to split it, and then they invaded from two different sides and met at the middle. Kind of like how Russia and the Allies went into Germany later on and met at the middle. You know? That's a little strange thing right there. Carrera went up in 1940. That looks interesting.
Oh. Well, you give me the easy ones, so thank you, because I'm kind of a fart-tard.
You are fart.
1940 Pennsylvania Turnpike, Pioneer Toll Thoroughway opens.
Oh, yes. Good old famous Pennsylvania Turnpike.
Pennsylvania!
Pennsylvania. You got one here in 1941, music history. That's interesting.
Oh, I'll do that, yeah. Dmitry Shostovich evacuated by plane to Moscow. Wow.
Huh. He was a composer. Like, it says here it's music history, so whatever it was, he is a Russian-Soviet composer, and he was evacuated by plane somewhere.
Why were they protecting him so much?
Let's see here. It says, I don't know. Like, while he later returned to favor with his Fifth Symphony in 1937, he was once again denounced with other composers for Western-style formalism in 1948. His reputation and status
he
returned
became
after
capitalism.
Yeah.
He turned to capitalism. And
okay. That makes sense. But let's see here. 1942, the Bell P-59 Era Comet fighter, the first U.S. jet, made in flight. So let me check this out here. The Bell P-59. Let's take a look at what this aircraft looked like. Oh, look at that. So our first jet fighter.
it's actually formidable. It looks cool.
And look at this. I think I remember this. They put on fake propellers and stuff to make it look like we were still using prop planes.
Yeah, to fuck with everybody.
Yeah.
That's
like,
actually funny.
From the air reconnaissance, it would look like a normal prop plane. They probably wouldn't see the jets, over here. But yeah, that's interesting.
I think that thing did Mach 1.
No, that's our first jet, not the first aircraft to hit Mach 1 was the XP-86 so the first official Air Force position is that the XP-86 first passed Mach 1 in a dive on April 26, 1948. The achievement was not acknowledged at the time. The Air Force had classified the flight test data on military aircraft just as it had classified the X-1 program. So we broke the sound barrier in 1948, unintentionally. It sounds like. So that's really cool. But
Thank
then
you
also,
for clearing that.
what?
I said thank you for clearing that up because I was completely wrong.
Yeah, well, that was our first jet aircraft, not the but that doesn't necessarily equal speed enough to go faster than the speed of sound. But 6 years later, we did. So I did not know that. I thought the first one was when we were actually trying to go for it. But yeah. Anyway, 1942 as well, Little Golden Books, which were children's books, began publishing. So that's cool.
Oh, my favorite dude, I had like 200 of them.
Dang.
Like, there were so many, like, with the gold stripe on the side.
I think I'm refilling my name right now, but I'll check it out here in a second. Little Golden Books. Let's see here. Little Golden Books. Oh, these ones. Okay, yeah. I love Scuffy. I absolutely love Scuffy.
Bro, brings so many memories back, dude.
I have this book, and then is that also the Are You My Mommy book? Like the little duck going around trying to find its mom? I don't know.
I don't know about that one. I can't even remember like half the books I had.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, it was Dr. Seuss. But still, that's another good book. So.
Yes, and Dr. Seuss was a great writer.
Yes, I have a lot of Dr. Seuss books.
He was the first Eminem.
The first Eminem. What?
Yeah, dude, that dude could rhyme like hard as hell.
I guess if we're gonna put in rhyming and the fact that he's white into the equation, I guess he's the first Eminem. But yeah. But then let's see here. 1943, Allied forces captured Naples during the Second World War. But it seems to be that this rolls into this other one here. The 1st King's Dragoon Guards, the Royal Armored Corps, liberated suburbs of Naples. So that's interesting.
Oh, wow. That's weird.
Yeah. But at the same time, Germans attacked the Jews in Denmark.
Dude, they attacked you?
Attacked Jews. They didn't attack me. No, I wasn't around yet. No. So like I'm by blood I'm 1/8 German, and that German was also Jewish. So, so the Jew in me is fighting the German in me because they're one and the same. That's why I'm not good at holding money. I'm in a conflict within myself.
All of a sudden he starts punching himself. He's like, "What up?"
Yeah. Anyway, what happened in 45?
Hold on. Okay, 1945, U.S. Office of Strategic Service, OSS, precursor to the CIA, disbands.
Oh, wow, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, because they become the CIA.
Yep. Yeah, so it sounds like
also,
just yet another case of rebranding, Same shit, different name.
Also, 1945, World Heavyweight Boxing Champion Joe Louis is discharged from the Army after being awarded the Legion of Merit.
Good. What is a Legion of Merit? Let me see here. Legion of Merit. It is a military award that the U.S. forces has given for exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding services and achievements. So whatever it was he did, it was really good. And he was allowed to leave the force and continue on being a boxer. So.
Yes.
Also, good boxer.
1946, 12 Nazi war criminals sentenced to death in Nuremberg.
Good.
Fuck you, Nazis.
Yep. Carrera, you got a baseball record here in 1946.
I'm sorry, I was smoking.
That's okay.
1946, Cleveland Indians pitcher Bob Feller claims his MLB record 348 strikeouts of a season in a 4-1 win versus Detroit. Fuck you, Detroit. Record stands for 19 years.
Dang. That's a good run right there with that record.
That's amazing.
Ooh. First 1947, and the second one looks interesting, and the third one too. So, but why don't you take the first two 47s here?
All right, let me rock this.
All right.
In 1947, first helicopter airmail and express service in L.A. Cali.
Yep. Helicopter
And
mail.
then, in the same year, 1947, the first fucking F-86 what is that? Saber flies for the first time.
Let's take a look at this F-86 Saber.
Yeah, I want to see what that is. Oh, that is cool.
I never liked these jets because, like, you know, if you play like, you know, Battlefield, you know, or Call of Duty or whatever, you get into like one of these like single engine jets. Like the maneuverability is great, but like you turn so quick, you like fly into a mountain immediately if you don't know what you're doing. Like I prefer the dual engine on either side rather than riding a barrel, you know? Like,
hey, can you look up what was the one that had the expandable wings in like Top Gun? What was that?
Wasn't that the Tomcat?
I think so.
Top Gun Tomcat.
Or the F-22 Raptor?
The Tomcat has those wings. The ones that.
Oh, that shit looks cool.
Yeah, look at that. That is really cool. Anyway, moving on up into 1947 as well. The U.S. control of Haitian customs and government revenue ended. Good. You know, Haiti should be in command of its own self. So, then 1948, California Supreme Court voided state statute banning interracial marriages in Perez versus Sharp case. Good.
Wait, what?
They voided the state statute that banned it. So they basically said no more bannings of interracial marriages.
Good.
Good. Did it. In 1949, the People's Republic of China proclaimed by Mao Zedong National Day. Nobody cares about Mao Zedong. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. But then in 1949, Taiwan formed, the Republic of China on Taiwan formed on the island of Formosa. So, like, this is the Taiwanese government that we know today. These are the former, the ousted Chinese government in exile from the Communist Revolution from this Mao Zedong guy. So the same day that People's Republic of China was proclaimed, the Republic of China formed. If I'm making any sense, like these are two different governments, you know. So, but you know, this Taiwan, this is the Taiwan that we know and love today. You know, this is why China wants to get him so much. They want to end the fight. They want to kill the last actual, like, real Chinese government. So, but then in 1950, Connie Mack's last game as Philadelphia Athletics manager, serving from 1901 through 50, so 49 years. Dang. Longest serving manager in MLB history, defeated Washington Senators 5-3 at Shrine Park. Dang, so this guy was manager of the Philadelphia Athletics for 49 years. That's a long time.
Uh, that's a very long time to actually be a manager.
Yeah. But then in 1950 as well, South Korean troops crossed the 38th parallel into North Korea. So this sounds like when did the Korean War start, actually? When did Korean War starts? June 25th, 1950. So the war had already been going on. And still technically, it's going on to this day. We only have a ceasefire going on. So, but technically the U.S. and North Korea are still at war, which makes it even more remarkable that, Donald Trump went over there and crossed the border, shook hands with the leader of a nation that we are at war with. They could have easily and justifiably struck him down because of warfare, but they didn't. And, if they had, nukes aplenty.
One of the greatest things in history is the fact that he stepped over the line.
Yeah, that is one of the biggest moments in all of history. Like, it's crazy. Like, one small step for man, one large leap for mankind, so to speak. But instead of the moon, it was another desolate wasteland.
I'm not a huge Trump fan, but he did a lot of good things, and nobody respects him for it.
I'm in the same boat. Like, I'm not a never Trumper. I mean, I'd never vote for him, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. He has done a lot of things on the surface level, that are good, but I still think that he's part of the whole thing. Like, him and Elon Musk are both what I call false idols. But that leads into conspiracy. And,
yeah, let's not open that eggshell.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's see, that's golf, so who cares about that? 1951, that looks interesting.
Okay.
Let's see what's going on here.
Sohan's turn right now.
1951, the first treaty signed by woman ambassador Ernie Anderson, U.S. ambassador to Denmark.
Nice.
Also, 1951, the 24th Infantry Regiment, last all-black U.S. military unit activated.
Good. Integration into our forces. That's what I'm all about.
Yep.
Ooh. 1952. Look at that one.
Yeah. 1952, the first ultra-high frequency UHF television station, Portland, Oregon.
Nice.
Also, 1952, Liberal Party wins Japanese elections.
Oh, the next 52 as well. That's big.
1952, Montebello Island, Great Britain, first atom bomb explosion.
Yep. Welcome to the atomic age, United Kingdom. So, let's see, 1954, Carrera.
In 1954, British colony of Nigeria becomes a federation.
Good. They became a federated state, so that's good. Nigeria, of course, is in Africa, So, 1957. That looks interesting. Ooh, both of them. Take them both.
Hey, you go, bro. Just do it.
It's your turn. You have two more, man.
Oh shit.
We go 3 for 3, remember?
1957, B-52 bombers begin full-time flying alert in case of USSR attack.
Yeah, and just a few days ago, I remember, I think it was like 92 or 94, the president at the time, who I think was George H.W. Bush, or I think Bill Clinton did this, I'm not sure, but sometime in the early to mid-90s, that was ended. So from this date until the 90s, 24/7, we had B-52 bombers in the air all over the world carrying nuclear ordnance, just in case the Ruskies decided to launch and we had immediate countermeasures. That has since been replaced by our submarine service, which has missiles that can hit anywhere in the world. So instead of in the air, now we're in the water. So
Now my brother is in the Navy and was a submariner.
yeah, he was
He
on one
was
of those
on
things.
the Ohio and the Boise, and dude, they were packed, bro.
Yeah, like I have nothing but admiration for submariners, dude. There's one of my neighbors like down the street. He's a retired submariner. Like it takes a special kind of crazy to be cramped in a tin, you know, in a little tin
And
thing
yeah,
under the water.
tin can.
You know? Like it's crazy. Why don't you take the second the second 57 here, and then we'll do the split.
1957, the first appearance of "In God We Trust" on U.S. paper currency.
Yeah, my dad actually remembers that. He's told me like when he remembered it was a big hullabaloo, you know, about putting that in there, and then now we've taken it off. I think actually, hold on, no, I don't have a dollar bill. Does anybody have a dollar bill? Does it still say in God We Trust on there?
Yeah, I don't have one.
I don't either. I'm poor, so
Yeah, but we're all poor.
broke game. Like,
That's why we do this.
let's see here. Like, trying to get my wallet. Yep, empty. Both sides empty. nothing but moths and cobwebs. So, anyway, let's do the split here. Hello, welcome to part 2. For obvious reasons, I suggest you watch part 1. I am going to take us up into 1958 here. The U.S. Space Agency, NASA, also known as Never a Straight Answer, began operations incorporating earlier National Advisory Council on Aeronautics and other bodies. Huh. So they started actually bringing in some old knowledge to, you know, grow their current one.
I'm sorry, are you talking about Elon Musk?
No, this is way before Elon Musk. This is 1958. So, yeah. I get the joke you're trying to do. But then in 1960, we have two 1960s here. Both are the same thing here. Nigeria became the 99th member of the United Nations, and Nigeria also gained independence from Great Britain. So National Day. So they became their own nation, and then they joined the United Nations immediately. So that's cool.
Give a clap for them.
I guess today is Nigeria Day, because that was like the third article about Nigeria we've read so far. I'm not sure.
Yep.
But then also in 1960, Wool Soyinka's play A Dance of the Forest was first performed as part of Nigerian independence celebrations. Cool. So more Nigeria. Dang. Nigeria. I don't know.
Hey, thank you, Nigeria, for putting up your stance against every bullshit you could handle.
Yep. And moving on up into 1961, a volcano believed to have been extinct erupted in Tristan da Cunha. Or Cunha.
Oh, I remember that.
Where is
That was crazy.
Tristan da Cunha. Colloquially, Tristan is a remote group of volcanic islands in the South Atlantic Ocean. It is the most remote inhabited archipelago in the world, lying approximately 2,787 kilometers from Cape Town in South Africa, 2,437 kilometers from St. Helena, and 4,002 kilometers from the Falkland Islands. So dang. So I'm going to add that into the underbar. And I think it is now Sohan's turn.
What year?
Let's see here.
1961
baseball record.
Okay. 1961, New York Yankees right fielder Roger Maris becomes MLB's all-time home run leader when he passes Babe Ruth's mark with number 61 off Boston rookie Tracy Stoller in 1-0 win at Yankee Stadium.
Nice. That's one hell of a game, 1-0. You know?
Yes.
Dang.
Also, 1962, American singer Barbra Streisand signs her first record contract with Columbia.
Interesting. And here we go.
1962, Brian Epstein signs a contract to manage the Beatles through 1977.
Yep.
Is he related to Epstein?
No, we've
feel sorry.
looked that up and we couldn't find anything really. But yeah, that is an interesting question. So.
Also, 1962, James Meredith becomes the first black student at the University of Mississippi.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Thank
well,
God.
why don't you take this other 1962 right under it? Because that's the same thing.
So, 1962, James Meredith enrolls for classes at University of Mississippi desegregation the college.
Thank God that segregation started to end.
Well, we're getting back into it, unfortunately now. So it's kind of funny. All the group of people that wanted to end segregation back then is the same group that they're trying to start it up again today. So.
Oh man.
Yep. It's everybody's lost their fucking minds. So. But anyway, Carrera, it's your turn. Why don't you take this television debut in '62?
Oh, Johnny Carson, let's go. 1962, Johnny Carson hosts his first The Tonight Show on NBC. Guests included Rudy Valet, Tony Bennett, wow, Mel Brooks, and Joan Crawford.
Those are all big names.
Fucking Mel Brooks is one of my
one hell of a
funny.
way to start a show right there, dude.
Like, just blow it out. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, 1962. This is interesting here. The one right under what you just read. Huh.
1962, UN gives Netherlands control of the New Guinea.
Yeah, New Guinea. Which is weird. Like, isn't New Guinea like in the Pacific? Let me look this up here. New Guinea. Yeah, it's in the Pacific. So it's an island just north of Australia. So for whatever reason, the Netherlands, since then, has had ownership, and I'm not sure if it's been, if it's been its own thing, its own. I think it is. It's its own nation. What I'm trying to think of. I'm just gonna add this wiki into the underbar. Anybody who's interested in researching anything about New Guinea. But then here we go. Why don't you tell us about Nigeria once again?
In 1963, Nigeria enacts a new constitution and becomes a republic.
Nice.
Nice.
Then 365 days later, in 1964, the first official broadcast of Trans World Radio on Bonaire. Which, if this is what it is, like, let me look this up, because this might just be a name. But Trans World Radio. Here we go. It is a multinational evangelical Christian media distributor, the largest Christian media organization in the world. It uses medium wave or high powered AM and shortwave transmitters, local FM radio stations, cable, satellite, internet, and mobile device technologies. So essentially, this is a radio station that can be heard all the way around the world, way before internet. So that's cool. So it sounds like they utilize all these like transceivers and responders and whatnot, radio things to bump the transmission from one station to another, kind of like how flights with layovers or multiple stops or whatever, if I'm making any sense.
Yeah, you're making sense.
Yep. Let's see here. 1964, free speech movement launched at University of California at Berkeley. Okay, this is how it all starts. Remember I was saying, like, all the stuff that's going on politically didn't just happen overnight. It's been going on for decades. Here's one of the starts. Free speech movement. Are you kidding me? Like, we already have free speech. So, but at the same time, 1964, San Francisco cable cars were declared a national landmark. So that's cool.
Yeah, but you also have to keep in mind that the free speech that's granted to us in our Constitution is
being trampled over like a herd of buffalo.
It's so people had to fight for it.
Yeah, well, we
especially people of color.
Yeah, they did, back then, and we still do today. I mean, look at how everything is going on today. Actually, if I may, kind of saunter into politics a little bit. There's a bill out here in California that if our Governor Newsom signs it, well, basically, in the state of California, any doctor or scientist or anybody in that field of study who says anything against the common consensus will be suppressed. So here we go again with this medical tyranny and everything. So they're actively going to start wiping people off of the internet, wiping people off of the whole board if they say anything against what the general, consensus is. So they're legalizing, like censorship, essentially.
I'm gonna say one thing. Everybody just fucking get along.
Yeah. I wish we could.
We don't have anything to fight about.
I wish you were right, but we have a long conflict ahead of us here, a long and painful road. But anyway, so what happened in 1967 here?
1967, Pink Floyd arrives in New York City for their first U.S. tour.
Nice, Pink Floyd.
Also, 1967, Richard Petty continues phenomenal NASCAR winning streak by taking the Wilkes 400 at North Wilkesboro Speedway, unprecedented 10th consecutive victory.
Unprecedented. So that's
Did you know that we all did drugs to like Pink Floyd? But Roger Waters did not do drugs.
Huh. I don't know who that is, but cool.
He's the singer.
Ah, okay. Yeah, dude, like a really great time is partaking in some devil's lettuce and listening to Far Side of the Moon. That's a good afternoon right there.
That is.
Which, by the way, remind me to show you, you ever heard of Paul Blart Mall Cop?
Yeah.
There's this whole thing between that movie and the entire album of Dark Side of the Moon. Like, the entire movie is the exact length, and there's a lot of like corresponding things. So like if you play Dark Side of the Moon and watch Paul Blart Mall Cop, all the music and the action, the stuff in the movie, the music from the album coincide together. So like it's kind of crazy. So actually, I'm gonna let's see here.
Same thing with Wizard of Oz.
With what music or Wizard of Oz?
Wizard of Oz and the one with the prism.
The one with the prism. Pink Floyd, right?
Yeah.
Pink Floyd Prism album. Oh, that's the Dark Side of the Moon. That's the same one.
Yeah, it runs like perfectly with if you start with the lion at the first. On the third lion's roar, you start, what's it called?
Well, anyway, let's keep this going here. We can talk about that after the show, so keep that in mind. Sohan, what happened in 1968?
1968 cult zombie film Night of the Living Dead, directed by George A. Romero, starring Dwayne Jones and Judith O'Dea, premiered in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Nice. If I had known that yesterday, we would have watched that show last night, during movie night. We saw Tucker and Dale versus Evil instead, though, and that was still pretty fun. Carrera was there.
That actually was fun.
Yeah. But then, Sohan, can you tell us what happened in the first 1969?
Yeah, 1969 Concorde 1 airplane test flight breaks sound barrier.
Yep. Well, it later become the first commercial, airline service to go faster than the speed of sound.
Boom!
Yep, and that's the sound it makes. I'm gonna skip over this one. Fuck Disney. Bro Punzo, Carrera, you want to tell us what happened in '73? Some sports history for you.
1963 or not. Go back up.
Sorry.
1973 future Baseball Hall of Fame player manager Leo Durocher hits and ends his 45 career.
He ended his 45-year career in the sport when he resigned as Houston Astros manager. Dang. It's pretty cool.
Go Texas, bitch.
Ooh. Why don't you take this 74? This is perfect for you.
1974, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre horror film premieres in director Tobe Hooper's hometown, Austin.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. Austin, Texas, in the U.S.
Yep. Boston. Boston rhymes with Boston. So.
Austin can kiss my ass.
Yep. And also in 1974, U.S. computer scientist Gary Kildall presented the prototype of his CP/M operating system in his backyard tool shed. Dang. All these people, engineering things in their garage and tool sheds and whatnot, and now they're trying to make a world where nobody can afford a garage or tool shed anymore. I wonder why. So. At the same time, 1974, the Watergate cover-up trial opened in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Yeah. 1 year later, in 1975, the Thrilla in Manila, Muhammad Ali stopped Joe Frazier in 14 rounds in Quezon City, the Philippines, to retain his WBC/WBA heavyweight title.
I'm the greatest.
Yeah. So let's start picking this up here, and I'm gonna say let's just start focusing on the highlighted ones from now because I have stuff to do today. So let's start spitting this out. Sohan, you want to tell us what happened in 1977?
Brazilian soccer great Pelé plays his final game for the New York Cosmos in an exhibition against Santos in front of 75,000 at Giant Stadium. 1,281 goals in 3,363 games.
I think it was 1,363 games.
Also, 1977, Elton John honored by Madison Square Garden's MSG Hall of Fame.
MSG, what is that? MSG Hall of Fame.
Madison Square Garden.
Oh, well, yeah, of course, I'm dumb. Anyway, we just got
Also-
joined by the legendary
I give up. Who?
Me Cleaver.
I know that. The legendary part is what I'm not so sure about.
Well, you are legendary, you know? Like, if you're more legendary, you turn into some milk. You know, legendary.
Oh, please.
And you missed it about like 10 some odd minutes ago. We read an article, "In God We Trust" was added to U.S. currency. And I was talking about how you remembered when there was a whole hoopla-doo about that.
Yeah, well, in the... No, the anthem. The Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, that's right. Under God. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. So I was wrong.
So what year was that added to the money?
I don't remember.
Okay,
Like,
don't worry about it.
yeah. Anyway, Carrera, what happened in 1981?
Oh. Let's see. 1981, U.S. largest private investment bank, Salomon Brothers, sold to commodities trader Fibro Brother Corporation for 40. Wow,
$483 million.
that's a lot.
Yeah. And then 1982, Marvin Gaye released his last studio album, Midnight Love, featuring single Sexual Healing. I mean, like, it is known that, sex does burn calories. So, you know. Then we have an historic event in 1982. West Germany's Christian Democratic Union ousted Helmut Schmitz as chancellor, or Helmut Schmidt, as chancellor, replacing him with Helmut Kohl. So one helmet for another. That's
Boy,
interesting.
that guy's picture looked like... I'm trying to think of the guy's name who was the CEO of Chrysler that brought it back from the brink and all that stuff. Can't think of his name, Donnie. Looks like him.
CEO of Chrysler.
Probably the current one. He's not in the 90s.
90s. Okay. Let's see here. Iacocca?
Iacocca.
Iacocca.
He looks just like him.
Lee Iacocca.
Lee Iacocca. He saved the company.
Kind of, sort of. I can see that a little bit. Huh.
I also bought a Lamborghini at that time.
Ah.
Yeah.
And then in 1984 as well, Peter Ueberroth replaced Bowie Kuhn as sixth commissioner of Major League Baseball. He had a 4-year tenure. Which, by the way, earlier than what I was saying earlier, like way back, I think it was from 1901 through 1950, this guy was some kind of like baseball manager, baseball something manager, so he was a manager for 49 years.
Jeez.
Yeah. So. But then in 1986, Canadian children's author Rupert Munch published Love You Forever. Alright? That's interesting. A children's author writing Love You Forever. That's ringing some alarm bells in my mind. You know?
Yeah, but you're thinking in the 20s. That,
Yeah.
that could be like a parent's love. Come on.
Yeah.
It could be good. It could be a piece of crap too. Who knows?
Yeah, well, it's also like, they hid things,
Yeah.
But once again, when you're looking at history, you're looking at it through a
Current eyes.
yeah. So anyway, Sohan, you have Mikhail Gorbachev here.
1988, Mikhail Gorbachev becomes chairman of the President of the Supreme Soviet Effective Head of State of the Union of the Soviet Union.
Ah, okay.
Also, 1988, Gary beats Gabriela Stamian 63-63 in the win in the women's single tennis gold medal at the Seoul Olympics, clinched for an only gold slam in history. Grand Slam and the
Golden
Olympics.
Slam. Yep.
Oh, and the Olympics. Winning all
Yeah.
four, and then the Olympics.
Also,
got it.
1989, Daniel Steele's novel Daddy is published.
Ooh. That's interesting.
Be right back.
You got a sports history here. 1989.
Why do you keep giving me sports?
You said you wanted sports.
You wanted it.
You said earlier you wanted sports. So I'm giving you sports.
Not, I said not tennis.
That's not
Hey,
tennis.
tennis.
That's Major League Baseball.
All right, let's go. In 1989, MLB batting titles are decided on the final day of a regular season. Alabama Kirk Puckett.
Puckett.
All right. He goes 2 for 5, edging out Carney Lansford by .39 or 339 to .336. National League, Tony Gwynn's 3 for 4 beats Will Clark for holy shit. .336 to .333.
I don't know what that means, but that sounds interesting.
That's their batting average, 336, 330. Both the American League title and the American League title, National League and American League,
Yeah.
were decided by 3 1,000ths of a percent.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's why the last day of the league year, whatever they hit, the other one won.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's that close, 3,000ths of a percent.
Dang.
336 to 333. Yeah.
Too much math in baseball for me. You know,
It's so much.
moving on up into 1989 as well, U.S. Army General Colin Powell became the youngest chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the nation's highest military position, at the age of 52.
Yeah.
Dang.
Wow.
Yep.
Owen Powell, love you, dude.
Yep. 1990, Saddam Hussein said he may be willing to negotiate the occupation of Kuwait and would consider foreign participation in negotiations. Wow, that guy backtracked on himself really quick. We've been talking about this for off and on for the past week about how wasn't it last week when he was saying that he will not do any of these things, and then now he's like, okay, I guess I will. It's like, man, Saddam Hussein is such a coward. But also in 1990, Serbs in Croatia proclaim autonomy. Good. And then at that same time, U.S. President George Herbert Walker Bush at the United Nations condemned Iraq's takeover of Kuwait. So this all happened on the same day. So,
Wow.
yep. Sohan is muted. I'm not sure if he's there. I'm just going to talk for a minute to see if he's going to unmute himself, and he's not going to. So let's go to Carrera in 1992.
Ross Perot.
Yep.
Awesome.
Ross Perot, one of my favorites. Re-enters U.S. presidential race.
Yep.
That dude was one. If I was old enough, I would have voted for.
Yeah, you're just 6 years too young, though.
I was old enough and I did vote for him.
Yeah. Why don't you take this boxing title fight here? 1993.
Me?
Yeah.
I hate you.
Who doesn't?
Join the crowd. Crowd on that side of the fence, I gotta tell you.
In 1993, in his first World Boxing Council heavyweight title defense, Lennox Lewis beats fellow Londoner Frank Bruno by TKO in 7 at the National Stadium in Cardiff, Wales?
Yep.
They fought in Wales?
Yeah, well, that's part of the UK.
Yeah.
It's on the western side, I believe.
No, my buddy in my Discord is Welsh.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, Alex, what's a TKO? Do you know?
Technical knockout.
Very good. Okay.
Of course.
Just testing.
Well, I mean, it's violence, so of course I'm going to know about it.
Okay.
I don't know anything about baseball or basketball, but
Why are you so violent?
I don't know, man. Moving on up into 1994, Australian batsman David Boone scored 114 during 1 wicket. First Test defeat versus Pakistan in Karachi, his 19th Test century.
The only sport on here, I have no idea what they're talking about.
This is the only subject matter that when I read it verbatim, I still feel like I had a stroke at the end of it. You know? So.
I'll repeat myself. I feel like you when you read those things.
You feel like an idiot?
I didn't say that.
Well, you kind of
I'm
did.
not arguing, though.
I mean, I am the epitome of
Oh,
stupid.
this is amazing right here.
In 1994, South African President Nelson Mandela visited the U.S. Nice.
Yeah.
I think he did it a couple of times because I remember saying something about him visiting New York a while ago.
Oh, yeah?
So I think he's visited over here a couple of times. But then 1 year later, we have another Farm Aid. This one is Farm Aid the 8th, held in Louisville, Kentucky. Performers included, of course, Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, and Neil Young, the starters. With Hootie and the Blowfish, Dave Matthews Band, John Conley, and Steve Earle. Steve Earle. Why does that name sound so familiar? Oh. Then we have some more sports history in 1995. German Benetton driver Michael Schumacher won the Pacific Grand Prix at the TI circuit in Ada, Japan, to clinch his second straight Formula One World Drivers' Championship. Nice.
You give me all the shit sports and the one thing that I like.
I'm sorry. I'll try to keep an eye out for NASCAR stuff just for you, okay?
I don't like NASCAR.
But that's NASCAR.
That's
One?
Formula One.
Oh well.
Yeah. It's not NASCAR.
Well, it's racing. Okay. Well.
That's a broad term.
Anyway, why don't you tell us what happened in 1996 here? A historic event.
Let me try because I am now drunk.
I have noticed. So, if you want, we can skip over you. Up to you, though.
Go for it. Just hit it.
1996, following the Port Arthur massacre, John Howard's Australian government started a gun buyback scheme. Compulsory acquires more than 640,000 firearms, including many new illegal semi-automatic rifles and shotguns. I swear we read about that yesterday.
Really?
So yeah, well, this is how Australia got to be where it's at today. An armed population doesn't get into the boxcars willingly. So
True.
So yeah, including many new illegal semi-automatic rifles and shotguns. So they made things illegal and then took them.
Yeah.
Like, if this is such an obvious, evil, corrupt, action. I don't know why people went along with it. 640,000 firearms.
You.
Yep.
Yeah, that's.
Speaking of evil and corrupt, 1998, Vladimir Putin became a permanent member of the Security Council of the Russian Federation. Yep. And in 1999, Edmonton Oilers retired Wayne Gretzky's number 99 Joyzy in a pre-game ceremony before a 1-1 tie versus New York Rangers, the last team for which the Great One suited up in an NHL game. So, yeah.
So they retired his jersey?
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him like a lot of credit. That motherfucker was a badass.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Go along with that.
Yep. 1999, in a blockbuster NBA trade, the Houston Rockets moved All-Star forward Scottie Pippen to Portland Trailblazers for Kevin Cato, Stacey Augmon, Watts Williams, Carlos Rogers, Ed Gray, and Brian Shaw. Wow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy is worth 5 guys.
Yeah. Well,
This guy's worth an entire burger chain. Look at
they
that.
do that sometimes they put in to make the dollars work.
Yep.
Because they have salary caps, so they have to trade certain ways, so they had to throw in a bunch of money people.
Yeah.
Lower money, lower value.
Equal trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. For equal like financial swaps. So.
But that must have been at the end of his career. I'm not sure because he was obviously known for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
He was playing for the Houston Rockets then, so that had to be after his Bull run, I think.
His bull run. Then we have some more baseball records here. In 2004, Seattle Mariners Japanese outfielder Ichiro Suzuki got his 258th hit of the season, breaking George Sisler's 84-year-old Major League Baseball single-season record. Ichiro ended the season on 262. Dang.
Yeah.
84-year record.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot of hits.
Yep. 2011, Martin Dempsey was appointed U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff by President Obama. All right.
That's notable.
I don't know because it's Obama. They're like, oh, look at what the first black president is doing. Whoop-de-doo. I guess I don't know. Then 2017, amid a deepening constitutional crisis, Catalonia held an independence referendum on seceding from Spain. Is Catalonia independent now, though?
I don't know.
Is Catalonia?
Totally ignorant on that.
Well, we shall see. Catalonian independence has received no recognition from any sovereign nation. However, the partially recognized non-UN member states Abkhazia and South Ossetia claim they were willing to offer formal recognition should they receive a request to do so from the Catalonian government. So they are not recognized as independent.
But do they consider themselves independent? That's what I didn't get out of that.
Well, I believe they do, but they're not recognized as such. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna add this link into the underbar so anybody who wants to prove me wrong will have the opportunity to do so. So there we go.
Speaking of recognizing, now the question is, what Russia supposedly had a boat and took into the Russian Federation of Crimea's property, of Ukrainian's property.
Oh.
Will the rest of the world recognize that now as being part of Russia?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know either.
I mean, it's an act of aggression.
No, they're still fighting, so fuck them.
Yeah.
And fuck Russia.
Yep. 2017, former NFL star O.J. Simpson was released from Nevada's Lovelock prison after less than 9 years of detention of his 33-year sentence for armed robbery and kidnapping. Dang.
You talk about a guy that had it all and threw it away.
Yep.
Jeez.
Just like another NFL guy, Colin Kaepernick.
He didn't do what this guy did.
Well, he didn't, but he threw it away.
And he was one of the greatest running backs of all time.
Yeah, he was also in some movies. What was that? Not Naked Gun?
Burning. Yeah, he's in Naked Gun.
Naked Gun.
Burning Inferno or something.
Oh, I didn't know about Burning Inferno. But
To be honest, I don't care what Kaepernick did. All I give a shit is being a good human.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. 2019, just 3 years ago, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, sued the British newspaper The Mail on Sunday, claiming it had published her private letter. Well, how did they get it?
Oh, he went on a fucking rant the other day on the news.
Yeah. Yep. And then also in 2019, U.S. presidential candidate Bernie Sanders taken to hospital after suffering a heart attack.
Oh, I never heard about that.
I did not know either.
I did not.
It's only, I don't know when that picture was taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is young there. That's an old picture.
Yeah, nowadays
You're
he looks like just very disheveled.
Yeah.
So, have I shown you Bernie Sanders?
Have you shown me that?
Bernie Sanders, yeah. Hold on a second. BRDI Sanders. Bernie Sanders. Here we go. See, doesn't that look like Bernie Sanders? It's Bernie Sanders. See? Look.
You're fucking stupid.
I am. And
love
don't you
you.
forget it. I'm not stupid. I'm downright retarded. Anyway, 2021, just last year, rock singer David Lee Roth announced his retirement will follow a 5-year residency in Las Vegas in January 2022. So that's happened. And
The greatest Van Halen of all.
before we move on to the births and deaths, any viewers, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything you want to expand upon? Anything you have questions about? Start a dialogue in the comments section. Let's go. Anyway, moving on to the births, starting us off in the year 1207, we have Henry III, King of England, from 1216 through 72, provinces of Oxford, born in Winchester Castle, Hampshire, England, dying in 1272. We have good old Charles VI, born on this date in 1685, who was a Holy Roman Emperor from 1711 through 40, born in Hofburg Palace, Vienna, dying in 1740.
There's some proof on that half.
Poof and underly, like he has the poof and the double poof and the poof.
I wonder if it's one of those hats that comes with the hair. You put on.
I think it would be because look at how it's on his head, so there's no hair above it holding it up, so it's part of the brim,
There you go.
So, and then let's see here, we have William Boeing, born on this date in 1881, an American aviation pioneer who founded the Boeing Company, born in Detroit, Michigan, dying in 1956. And chances are, if you've flown, you've been on one of his aircraft.
Yeah.
So, and then who else was born on this date? Bonnie Parker in 1910, a U.S. outlaw of Bonnie and Clyde fame, born in Rowanda, Texas, dying in 1934.
Oh,
Yep.
I know where both their graves are.
Yeah. Where are they? Where'd they get shot?
They got hammered by
Federal agents.
federal agents on holy shit, they were on a dirt road and God,
They were in Gippsland, Louisiana, it looks like.
Okay.
So, dang. But yeah, this is their birthday. So, and we have Jimmy Carter, hey, the good old peanut farmer, 1924, a U.S. politician, the 39th U.S. president, Democrat, having served from 1977 through 81. It appears to be one term.
Yes.
Born in Plains, Georgia.
One too many, I might add. Just my opinion.
One too many.
One too many terms.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
there was Billy Beer that was made by his brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
We have Richard Harris in 1930, an Irish actor, man called horse, and singer MacArthur Park, born in Limerick, Ireland, died 2002, so 20 years ago. So there is actually a Limerick, Ireland. So that's interesting. We have Julie Andrews in 1935, British actress and singer, Mary Poppins, The Sound of Music, born in Walton-on-Thames, Surrey. So she has to be the little girl then. No, she was born in 35.
Okay.
And she's still alive today. It doesn't say that she's dead, so she has to be that little girl.
What little girl?
In Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins, right here.
Okay, I was going by The Sound of Music. She was the...
Oh, no, I'm going by Mary Poppins.
Okay.
I've never seen The Sound of Music. So, hold on a second.
She wasn't a little girl.
Hold on a second. Let's see.
She's the adult. Both of them.
Oh, you're right. Okay, you're right. She was Mary Poppins. So she must have been in her 20s or something.
Well, what year was that? You'll know.
When did Mary Poppins? 1964. August 26, 1964. So she was 30s.
30, okay.
Yeah. She was born in 35, so 64.
Okay.
She was 29. So she was 29.
Yeah, okay.
She looked young for 29, but the power of makeup is amazing. So. Then we have Rod Carew, 1945, a Panamanian Baseball Hall of Fame infielder, 18-time MLB All-Star, American League MVP of 1977, 7-time American League batting champion, Minnesota Twins and California Angels, born in Gatun, Panama Canal Zone. Huh.
He had the perfect swing. That,
Yeah.
baseball swing.
Baseball swing. And moving on up into 1948, we have Peter Blake, a New Zealand yachtsman, white bread round the world peace 1989 through 90, America's Cup 1995 as well as 2000, and a special envoy UN Environmental Program. Born in Auckland, New Zealand, died in 2001. Dang. And see, we have been joined by Alice.
I just always seem to come in during the deaths, don't I?
No, actually, we're still in bursts.
You're
What?
perfect.
Oh,
You're setting
shit
the stage
snaps.
for Des. Perfect, Alex.
Yeah. So why don't you take 53 here?
Hi, Dad.
Hi.
All right. Well, I will say this. Today, in 1953, we have Greet Waits, a Norwegian long-distance athlete who did 9 times New York City Marathon. She won 9 New York City Marathon titles.
Dang.
World Sea Ship Gold in 1983. 5-time Gold World Cross Country. WR times 4. I don't know what that means. Was born in Oslo, Norway. Died in 2011.
Dang.
Wow, that's a bunch.
Hey, that's
Good
cool. An
resume.
homage to the motherland.
Ah. Oh, hey.
We're getting the remnants of Hurricane Ian right now.
Oh,
Are you?
Yeah, we are.
dang.
Well,
You're way up there, too, so...
yeah, I'm in PA. We're just getting the rain. We're not getting like storm surges or anything like that. But
I am really concerned about Mikey, Ghost Virus. I
Yeah,
haven't heard from him in a month, dude. Like,
well, I hope all is well.
I
Like,
hope so, too.
I have some friends down in Florida too that remember what's his name? He used to be on the Secure team. He used to be on Secure team all the time. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he lived not far from Tampa, but
Huh.
Tampa didn't get directly hit, so
Yeah,
which would have been bad for them because of that Bay Area.
yeah. Well, Alice, you have another birth here in 56.
Oh, we have Theresa May in 1956. She was a British Prime Minister, conservative from 2016 to 19, and she was born in Eastbourne, England.
Ah,
Didn't Boris Johnson take her out?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Go to no confidence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, that car horn was perfect, too.
I know.
Like,
Right?
born in Eastbourne, England. Beep, beep.
Go Eastbourne.
Yep. In 1959, we have Youssou N'Dour, a Senegalese singer, Shaking the Tree, born in Dakar, Senegal. Huh.
Okay.
Mark McGuire, 1963, a U.S. MLB first baseman and coach, 12-time All-Star, Oakland A's, St. Louis Cardinals, born in Pomona, California. Oh, I didn't know he was born
Oh,
there.
damn.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
He was also like under fire for his steroid use.
Ah, yeah.
Him and Kaseko when he was in Oakland.
Yeah.
Mark missed steroids.
Yo, Alice,
Oh, God.
this is kind of cool. We have you, which is a wonderful, human being. And then you're going to be talking about someone who's complete and total trash here.
Contrast, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay,
extreme
oh my
contrast.
God. Well, happy birthday to Miss Marvel herself, Brie Larson. Was born in 1989. She is well, actually, her name is Brianne Sidoni Desaloniers. I can't even say that. It's a little... But yeah, she's an American actress. She was Captain Marvel. Singer and director, born in Sacramento, California.
Well, that explains why she's a massive douche. So she's it's a long story, but like she's an awful person to work with. Like everybody like who's worked with her, like they hate her. Like she's an egotistical.
Same with Rachel McAdams.
She thinks she's God, and like she mistreats all of her co-actors, everybody on set. She steps on everybody. She's just an awful human being.
Okay.
So anyway, moving on into Des, and Alice is not in camera. We have a glorious view of the stockroom back there. Oh, there she is. Why don't you start us off in 303? Ooh, Bacchus.
Ooh, in 303 we have Bacchus, the Roman soldier, one of Christianity's earliest saints, whipped to death.
Yeah, dang. And Bacchus is also the, I believe it's the Roman god of partying and everything, or the Greek god of partying. I don't know. I learned that. Yep.
Well, he's a Roman soldier, so it would obviously be a Roman mythology thing, not a Greek.
Let's see here. Bacchus, god. Let's see here. Dionysus, Bacchus, god of wine, vegetation, fertility, festivity, ritual madness, religious ecstasy, and theater. Member of the 12 Olympians. So I think it's Greek.
So,
Oh wait, yeah. Well, it's. Huh.
well, Bacchus, man. So he must be taking his god role has been taking over the woke culture then, huh?
Yeah. Dionysus, Bacchus. So I'm gonna add this in the underbar as well. There, added that. Bloop. Okay. Moving on up.
Give me a few minutes. I'll be right
Trying to see who else died. We have a pretty significant time jump here. Ooh, 1972. Oh. We have Louis Leakey, a British paleoanthropologist and archaeologist. Alduvai George, 1964 Richard Hooper Medal, died at 68. But what is whatever this is?
Louis Leakey, that's didn't he do something down in Africa? No, I forget.
Maybe. But paleoanthropology is the study of human evolution through the fossil and archaeological records. It is an interdisciplinary field whose practitioners include biological anthropologists, Paleolithic archaeologists, earth scientists, and geneticists. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
And you were talking about he did something in Africa?
Or maybe he's doing, all the studies down there.
Let's see here. Yeah, Louis Leakey was a Kenyan-British paleoanthropologist and archaeologist whose work was important in demonstrating that humans evolved in Africa, particularly through discoveries made at Alduvai Gorge with his wife, fellow paleoanthropologist Mary Leakey. So he was the discoverer of that, we come from Africa.
Yeah.
Or at least the proof.
Yeah. Well, he's made your name in anthropology.
Yeah. Then we have E.B. White, 1985. He was a U.S. author, a New Yorker, Stuart Little, and Charlotte's Web. Ooh, Charlotte's Web. Died at 86.
Oh.
Yep. Who else do we have? That appears to be it. That concludes the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including, but not limited to, all things Omni Coalition, which in itself includes Sohan TV on Twitch. For all of you and all of us, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time, which is also 12 Central and 1 o'clock Eastern. For your dose of past events daily, I am Xander, and I was joined by
Herrera.
and Sohan and Alice. Until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles!
So you left me out of the mix.
Oh, yeah, we also have him.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
No, we also have...
Oh, you still on?
Yeah. I
Need Cleaver.
I am
You gotta
sorry.
meet me.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you kind of just blended into the background like a Canadian.
Great. I am so hurt.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
All right.
I'm incognito.